What is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. I haven't uploaded in a bit. I've just been really busy watching that game, but I'm going to be covering some interesting storylines, what's been going down, talking about all the first round series. This might be a bit of a long video, but just want to cover it. But I'm just going to see what's going to happen, and I think it's going to be a good video, more chill, more laid back. But I'm going to talk about all the teams' first round series, starting with probably my favorite first round series, which was Knicks versus Sixers. Joel Embiid played pretty solid, but he was really bad in the fourth quarters, which let the Knicks have some pretty crazy comebacks, including being down to like five with like 30 seconds left. Dante DiVincenzo hit a clutch three, and then there's another clutch three. Really good stuff from that entire team. I really like the Knicks so far this postseason. They're up 2-1 on the Pacers currently. They're about to start their last game. As of the time or their next game, as of the time of this recording, they're up is that like it's about to start in 2 minutes, so I'm just gonna put this out and go watch that. The Knicks have looked really good. Dante DiVincenzo's been elite. He's been like 45% from three, and like 17 points a game. Jalen Brunson scored like 40 pieces. The first one to do that since like Michael Jordan. He's been elite. The entire Knicks team has been elite. Josh Hart is like the best player in the whole yet. Like Josh Hart, this guy, he plays with so much effort. I don't know how he rebounds the ball so well. His stature is so good, Josh Hart. And people just let him shoot the ball sometimes, and that's just a mistake. When he needs to shoot the ball and make it in the basket, he will make it. He's that guy. Anthony Edwards has been stringing him so far in the postseason. The Wolves have lost one game so far. They're 6-1, but their last game against Denver wasn't pretty. They're looking unstoppable. Most people had them winning the championship for the past couple games right before the last game in Denver where they're up 2-0. They played suffocating defense on Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, both returned the ball over a ton. But in game three, Denver really picked it up, got a blowout win. Their next game's tonight, and just like today, have like the most decisive games, in my opinion, of the playoffs because they have Knicks versus Pacers. Pacers can try to tie it up at 2-2, and Knicks can take a 3-1 lead, and the Knicks team is really solid, so I don't see a team beating them if they're up 3-1. I feel like Anthony Edwards has been really good this postseason. I'd say him, Brunson, and Jokic are the best players this postseason so far. Shai's been really solid, and Kyrie has been carrying the Mavs straight up. Luka hasn't been great. He's still cooked. He cooked hard in the last game against the OKC Thunder, but this team is not the greatest when Luka doesn't play well, so he's gonna have to step it up a little bit. But the team has been winning, so I can't really be complaining much. Everyone on the Timberwolves is playing pretty easily besides Mike Conley, but he's been doing his role. He hasn't been shooting very efficiently, but he's actually well distributing at a high level, something that they're going to need to be doing right now. Nikhil Alexander Walker has been probably the most important role player in the league right now. He's been playing good D, shooting the ball well. He's been elite. As Anthony Andrews says, they have KD, but they have Jaden McDaniels. And I mean, I guess that works. That's a sweep. That's a sweep. So the team is looking really, really good. KD, T-Book, Beal, all frauds. I might make videos about them later, and they got cooked hard, and they be blaming their coach on that. And that's just, they got need to take accountability. LeBron got absolutely cooked. He's just like, it's the end of an era. Like, that's out on the play. And both LeBron and KD out in 4 or 5 games in the first round. Those old superstars just don't really have it anymore. And I'm gonna make videos about all the awards. I disagree with like one of them. I think the awards were pretty normal this season. I think Jokic definitely deserves the MVP. I've seen a lot of people wanting Doncic, but I'm more of a Jokic guy. I can definitely see the case for Doncic and Shea. Jokic is just such a great all-around player. That I have him as my MVP and he's won that. Same with Gobert. I'm very confident in Gobert. I've always been a Gobert fan. He's just such a great defender, but I feel like that's neither here nor there. This is going to be a bit of a yap section of the video, but I think this is a solid video. I want to put out today. Bucks got out in six versus the Pacers. Pascal Siakam's been good. Chris Middleton was looking good. I watched he scored like 40 in a game that got taken to OT. He's been super good, Chris Middleton has, but he was able to take it home. Dame has been okay. Obviously, Giannis didn't play, so that's really unlucky for them. I've always been a little bit skeptical on the team. They Drew Holiday. It's just I just didn't ever think Giannis was the greatest fit with Giannis. Giannis wasn't the greatest fit with Dame, especially because his team had like two good defensive players or three good defensive players. Now they only have two. Book is really old, so now it's only one really big lockdown D guy, and Drew Holiday is on their biggest competition, which having that getting snatched from them is kind of brutal. But I do really like the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum hasn't been playing great as of late, but he's the team's still really good. They have like 15 All Stars. They're gonna make the finals. As much as I love the Knicks as a team, I think they have one of the highest ceilings when fully healthy, which they haven't been lately. Bogdanovich is out for the season. Mitch Robinson is out for the series, I think. And there's just so many players that are getting injured on that team. It makes me so sad because this team was with OG and Anunoby. They were on that 14-2 run. It was just like I was at that game versus the Heat where OG and Randall both got injured. OG came back, but Randall never did, and it's just really rough. But yeah, Mitchell Robinson has sustained a knee injury and will be out for a month or two, which sucks really bad for them. He's like their lockdown B guy, but they're starting lineup super good. If they had Randall, I think they would definitely be a contender, but they can still make it to the conference finals, and that'll be good for them. They run it back next year. Their core's not old. Bogdanovich is a bit old, but they'll have to rely on Miles McBride and Alec Burks a little bit more than I would like them to have to rely on, but they're still really elite. Who else do I need to talk about? The Thunder, they swept the Pels. The Pels, that's so sad. Honestly, the Pels, it was Don was cooking, they got injured, and then they made it past the Kings, but still were screwed after that. I really like I really like that Pels team. I don't really like CJ McCollum or Brandon Ingram as winning players on a winning team very much, but Zion was playing so good. Everyone was like flipped the switch on Zion. They're like, I hate Zion, he's fat, and then now they're like, oh my god, Zion's the best player. And now again they're like he's injury prone, right? So everyone's just switching up on Zion. Who really knows at this point? But I think Zion's a very solid player. He's adapted to more not of a score first. Well, he's like the leading scorer on the team, but not as a like a give me the ball sort of score. Someone who can play with the team. This is the second most wins in franchise history for the New Orleans Pelicans, and I think it's a really solid team. But they were swept in the first round, so whatever. I guess that's just what happens. Miami, even when they took a game off of Boston, people were just coping. They weren't gonna beat Boston. You can't trust the team with Tyler Hero as your number one option. As much as Bam's a great player and their undrafted role players are excellent, you just can't, a team with Tyler Hero taking the most shots isn't going to be a winning basketball experience. They had to have everyone on their team go off for their team to even win a game. Derek White's been elite. Basically, everyone besides Tatum on that team has been really good for Boston. Um, Cleveland versus Magic. They're two of the like Donovan Mitchell's so good, but the Cleveland team, I've never been high on Cleveland. They got cooked last year by the Knicks, and if they can beat Boston, hey, that might mean in the Knicks finals, but I don't think they can beat Boston. They just don't really have enough good players. They've almost lost to the Magic, man. Magic were like well below 500 against teams over 500. So like this team is just they just didn't lose who they weren't supposed to lose to. And the Magic, they're good, but they're most certainly not great, and neither are the Cavs. I feel like going into the series, I'm gonna put out my predictions. I got OKC in seven, Denver in seven, Knicks in six, and Boston in five as my predictions. And then for conference finals, Boston in five, Nuggets in six, Nuggets. So I got Nuggets winning the championship, but I could definitely be very wrong on like all those predictions. Besides Boston making the finals, I just have no doubt in my mind. I'd love to see the Knicks there. Don't get me wrong. Um, I think I'm just convinced based on last night's game, but like if Minnesota wins tonight's game, they're probably gonna make it. It's just if Denver can tie it up, they take two games away. They go back home. They could very well just end it. So whatever happens, happens. But that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you guys for tuning into my Yap Sesh. See you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye.